In recent months, Luki has been described as a racist, transphobic, xenophobic Nazi after some extremely concerning voice recordings got leaked to the public.
Иностранная комьюнити раздражает своей нелогичностью и упортостью.
This is a crazy discovery for a teenager with 800,000 subscribers who, before this, was best known for making middle-of-the-road tweening animation videos. But one bad move after another led Luki into making one of the worst apology videos of all time. Going to be diving deep into how not to make an apology video for racism, and how Luki destroyed her own reputation overnight. Luki is a teenage Russian content creator who animates and edits her own videos. She's been on YouTube and especially TikTok for a while now, going back to 2023 when she would have been around 14 or 15 years old, and her content often looked something like this. And yes, it is literally all brain rot ADHD content. She uses both an animated OC and still images of herself to make these videos, and up until fairly recently, most of her posts and captions were done in her native Russian language.
Говорят, что в секонд-хенде нехуй ловить. Такой прикид урвал.
Паркер, это ты?
Чушпанка, это ты?
Я узнала тебя с трудом. Ты так...
These sort of videos alongside a whole laundry list of collaborations were ultimately very successful for her, as she currently has more than 750,000 subscribers on both TikTok and YouTube. She gets so popular that she even did a face reveal video. Luki gets a lot of criticism and legit hate on her videos for obvious reasons. People sometimes describe them as cringe, low effort, or obnoxious, poorly animated, and unfunny. But despite all of that, she got 30 million likes on her videos and public support from BBNO. There are much more legit reasons to dislike Luki though, and the first red flag came up in her online beef with a fellow TikTok creator called Dolly. Both Luki and Dolly are both Russian, and all of the back and forth took place in Russian, so a lot of the English-speaking audience never fully understood what happened or even know about it at all. The situation started when Dolly allegedly made a video ripping off Luki's design and animation style. In response, she made a video complaining about the situation with the translated caption stating, "Honestly, the situation is strange. I explained everything in detail on Telegram. Why didn't they just tag me? I don't understand. That video is literally a rip-off of my video." He even managed to rip off the inscription on the t-shirt. Regardless of Luki's complaints, rightly or wrongly, the general consensus sided with Dolly, as Luki very unfairly received lots of hate comments, either stating that Dolly didn't steal anything, or that if they did, she should just get over it. This prompted Luki to respond with another video she captioned. Phew, the comments are so full of tears. They justify the theft. Well, first of all, it is my animation style. Secondly, I do it on my own. He doesn't make the animations himself, and this guy's style isn't far off from mine. I don't understand how anyone can justify stealing. I know it's ridicule. Only now they managed to make fun of a ROFL video made in 30 minutes. And he's not far behind me in terms of development, so it's just ridiculous. The translation might be a little rough there, but the message is crystal clear and would be totally legit if things had ended there. However, things did get worse. Dolly responded with an animation depicting their OC and Luki's OC in a situation, which prompted Luki into calling Dolly a PDF file, since this person is allegedly 21 years old and Luki is under 18. That girl first copied my video one-on-one without marking it in any way. Then she didn't answer me in any way why she did it, after which she made 18 plus videos with me, despite the fact that I'm not 18, and she's over 18. Her character is 21 in general. That's an entirely valid perspective to have, and Luki was definitely the victim in this situation. At the very least, up until the point where she decided to dox Dolly by posting their pictures on her public Telegram channel, direct her fans to raid and harass them, and even threaten to post a copy of their passport, which is extreme to say the least. The situation also exposed some of her transphobic biases, as she sent this message basically saying, "No one gives a if she's trans or not. If she was born a woman, then she must be. I'm not swayed by her cockroaches in my head." This applies to a specific person, not to all trans people. This is obviously something that damaged her reputation, not just in general, but especially because of the community she belongs to. As much as it is worth remembering that she still is a teenager, using that fact to defend her actions is going to get harder, because around February 2026, evidence emerged of Luki being racist and xenophobic. The xenophobic allegations come from voice messages, which she had the boldness to share on her public Telegram channel, where she took aim at autistic people, British people, and quote-unquote foreigners in general.
Иностранная комьюнити раздражает.
Блять, сколько же ёбаных аутистов, нахуй, в Murder Mystery 2, еще и англичане. Блять, да чтобы они все передохли, как мухи. Это пиздец, чтобы они все сдохли.
Those extremely concerning comments came as a surprise considering Luki had already developed an international fan base and was interacting and collaborating with foreigners on a semi-regular basis. What's more, a different voice message revealed Luki being racist to black people, laughing at a racist joke and even using the N-word.
И я говорю, а ты вот видишь лицо того парня в толстовке? Там стоит дальше парень, негр, в черной толстовке. И она так оборачивается и начинает ржать, потому что, видимо, не видит. И он начинает подходить, она так на меня смотрит, типа, черный юмор. И я начинаю ржать, потому что юмор реально черный. Вот, это такой угар, конечно.
The backlash for this came pretty swift, as someone in that Telegram group was more than happy to leak and translate the recordings. The outrage caused people to take a closer look into her past, and even more red flags were spotted. A picture of Luki standing in front of a whiteboard and holding up 2 swastikas, and a drawing of Hitler she did in school being the most concerning. If anything was going to be a nail in the coffin, it was going to be this. This was the point where the drama around Luki needed to be addressed seriously, and she was, for some reason, the last person to realize this. Her first response was to understate the drama. She put out a statement once again on her Telegram channel saying, "Damn, foreigners got to my Telegram channel and are offended by jokes about Americans. I'm okay with everyone. Jokes are just jokes. Exactly the same as the Americans joke about Russians. Stop making up conflicts out of nothing. This is an appeal exclusively to foreigners who have seen a couple of jokes about Americans. I don't support racism and all that crap. I love everyone and everything." It was basically a giant leave me alone statement, and it made people apply even more pressure on her. She left a comment on a community post trying to clear her name. I think people need more context. Let me explain. I have a channel on Telegram and a group linked to it where people can communicate. So I have rules, for example, no insults to people of a different race, and one of the participants insulted me, for which I banned them. But I or other group admins always quote the reason for the ban, so that in the event of an appeal we can see why the person was punished and possibly unban them. So that voice message was a quote from someone else's punishment. I didn't mean to insult anyone with the N-word, and it wasn't used with the intention of offending or especially humiliating anyone based on their race. I don't care what color someone is. I treat everyone equally. At this point, Luki still hadn't realized that her audience were less interested in excuses, and more so demanding an apology, so therefore the backlash only got louder and louder. When Luki finally decided it was time to make an official video addressing the situation, nobody was prepared for what she came up with. The now deleted video only made things worse as nobody understood what message she was trying to send. Given the serious nature of the criticism and allegations, meme posting about being problematic was entirely the wrong tone. It felt like Luki had misunderstood the backlash or was trying to dodge accountability, so when that video didn't work, Luki posted a second video, a video even worse than the first one. A video many are now calling the worst apology video since Colleen Ballinger's ukulele video. This apology was immediately mocked and rejected by her entire audience. For one thing, there was no apology in the apology video. It was just another lazy attempt to address the controversy without actually addressing the controversy. This apology video was so bad that it's basically the main reason people started making thousands upon thousands of videos complaining about it, as Luki herself will mention in a minute. Luki deleted her meme video almost immediately after it blew up, and she released an actual apology statement on her channel in the early February. She said, "I'd like to apologize to everyone again. I'm sorry you misunderstood my previous apology video. I made it as a meme, just so more people could see my changes. But for some reason, most people took it as a joke, even though it wasn't. Now I'm making a full-fledged apology and analysis. I honestly didn't know the situation was so serious that so many people would hate me. I didn't expect it and didn't think it would go this far. The Russian mentality is very different from that of other foreign countries. I didn't know you were so strict even about the pronunciation of the N-word. I honestly didn't know that, and I apologize for that. I didn't expect so many people to wish me a fate that starts with the letter D and write other terrible, terrible things. For this, I truly apologize. I'm not a racist, I'm not a Nazi, or any other terrible word. I've always treated everyone very well and loved everyone very much, regardless of their skin color, nationality. I also apologize specifically to the Americans. I explained on a Telegram channel that Americans refers to the English-speaking community in Russia. I agree. It's bad, and I won't do it again. And I don't want Americans to hate me for it, because I have very good feelings for Americans, just like everyone else. Anyway, I hope this question helps, because I've seen thousands upon thousands of videos about how bad my apologies were. I apologize again. Forgive forgive me if you can. You don't have to. I know that for some, I acted too badly. The statement was received much better, even getting over 50,000 likes. There are still obvious issues with a statement like Luki not understanding why people took her apology as a joke when she admitted it's a meme. She's also continuing to use the Russian cultural divide as a shield against criticism, when several of her fellow Russians were the first ones to call her out. She also neglected to post this apology video on YouTube, where she also has more than 700,000 subscribers, only really acknowledging it in a community post with a passive-aggressive caption reading, "People actually write about apologizing, but they can't open their eyes. I published proper apology a long time ago." Overall, Luki's apology would be easier to digest if she just left it alone, and wasn't constantly releasing statements trying to clarify the situation. Despite stating in her initial apology that she understands people don't forgive her, she responded to people saying she's ducking responsibility by posting. This post is dedicated to everyone who spoke about responsibility. First, I deleted that "Stay With Me" meme video. Second, I posted a simple apology over a month ago. Third, I don't have brothers and I'm not xenophobic. This is disinformation. I'll say it again. I will not leave and I will not stop posting. If you don't like my content, block me. Have a nice day, everyone. Outside of the obvious trolls, nobody truly believes Luki's career should be over due to this controversy. She is a child after all, and she's reasonably struggling to deal with her own fame. But the tone of these statements is precisely what people are worried about. She seems to come out swinging when everyone else just wants to spread the word on how misguided her actions were and how poor her response was. She even responded to a video made by Luvi Hall calling it disinformation because she's not a racist and she never said she hated Africans. Eventually her tone shifted so hard that she wanted to fully paint herself as the victim in this situation, when in April she made 2 throwaway comments. Fun fact, I posted a proper apology before the "Stay With Me" meme, but as expected, it didn't get any views. That's why I made the "Stay With Me" video. By the way, you guys bombarded me with reports about the proper apology. Proof of that is in my Telegram. I've attached screenshots for anyone interested. It makes me laugh when people call me words that would get me canceled. Just admit you needed an excuse to cancel me. I'm not justifying myself or my actions, but if you're canceling me, follow your own rules. Otherwise, let's cancel everyone, not just me. First of all, these were more attempts to spin the narrative to where she gets to be the victim, whom the entire internet is witch hunting instead of a young creator who stumbled into saying racist, xenophobic, and transphobic things. Luki isn't being canceled. This entire situation would have been avoided if she didn't make a meme apology video to begin with. All people, the genuine ones anyway, care about is that she takes responsibility for her actions and takes it seriously, regardless of whether the racist statements were quotes or jokes. Then secondly, regarding the timeline, it's a bit difficult to map out now that she's deleted the initial videos, but her claim that the apology meme videos only came after the quote-unquote proper apology are somewhat contradicted by herself back in February when she posted a story saying, "Why is everyone talking about public apologies? Will my apology change anything? I'm not against apologizing, but I think it will only bring more hate, so I didn't make a video about it, and besides, I don't think anyone will forgive me." At this stage, the Barbra Streisand effect was fully taking place. The more Luki addressed these allegations and tried to stop people from talking about them, the more attention the drama got. Luki turned off her comments on TikTok for months now, practically since the apology scandal. She even demonstrated how desperately she wanted things to go back to normal when she uploaded a video in April claiming she would reopen the comment section if she got 100,000 likes. In the end, she only got about half that amount, and so she concluded it wasn't safe to come back outside. Later in April, Luki made one last desperate attempt to fix this whole mess by publishing her one and only YouTube video, where she would address everything in depth once again. Okay, due to the numerous videos about me on YouTube, I'll release this video explanation. I'll now go through all the accusations against me and explain everything. 1. How did it all start? People started calling me racist because of the way I pronounce the N-word. I admit that happened, but I want to emphasize that I did not use it to insult anyone. I said the N-word in my private chat on a Telegram channel. My channel has a group with certain rules. One of the rules prohibits racism, and for violating it, I or my admins will ban you. You can also appeal a ban in this chat. For people to be able to appeal, the admins, or me, must always cite the reason for the ban. So one day a guy asked why I banned someone, and I told him it was because he said the N-word. Unfortunately, I'm Russian, and I didn't know that in Europe they call even pronouncing this word racist. I apologized for it, not only in that meme video, but also in a normal apology video that I released a day later. Pausing it there for a moment, that statement seems impossible to understand. She allegedly bans a guy for saying the N-word. Then she's all of a sudden surprised that people want to do the same to her for doing the exact same thing. Also, we heard the voice note where she says the N-word. It wasn't exactly a telling off or anything like that. Moving back to the statement, she says, "The first was a meme video I made so more people could see my apology, but unfortunately, many took it as a joke. I now understand why, and I deleted it. I apologize again for pronouncing the N-word out loud. I am not and never have been a racist. I have friends of different races and nations, and we communicate well with everyone. My mother had an African boyfriend a few years ago, and I also treated him very well. It seems after all this time, Luki is still under the impression that her only crime is pronouncing the N-word. Not to mention she unironically used the 'I know lots of black people, therefore I can't be racist' defense, and defense which people no longer take seriously in 2026. But following this, she addresses the 7 Minutes in Heaven scandal, which is a rare occasion where Luki is actually correct. At some point in 2025, Luki made a video with a 14-year-old containing implications. This went viral for all the wrong reasons, as people accused her of little brother simply because the boy had the same color hair as she does. This was entirely false, as the boy in the video was a friend, not a family member, and Luki was only 16 years old at the time. She had to take down the video, but she had a relatively funny response video at the time. She once again addresses those allegations in this video statement. She says, "What I did for 7 minutes in heaven with my brother. I once again publicly declare I have no brothers. I have a younger sister. She lives with her dad in Spain, and she is only 6 years old. I last saw her a year ago. That boy was my friend at the time the video was filmed. There was a 2-year age difference between us. I filmed that video at his request. It was not forced. That video was a joke. Now I have a boyfriend. He is 19. Then she addresses the Nazi allegations. I am accused of being Nazi. No, I am not and never have been. Unfortunately, not everyone understood the photo in a white suit because there was no context. Let me explain. In the photo, the fans were on fire. I showed how I burned them. I do not support Nazis in any way. There was also a drawing of the Nazi leader. This drawing was made for history homework. That week we were studying the personality cult of the NZ leader. The teacher assigned us to draw his portrait. For some reason, people online say that I posted this publicly, but this is disinformation. I posted that drawing in my private Telegram channel at the time of posting it. Had very few subscribers. I just wanted to show that I draw beautifully. There's no real way to verify the information here, but it's safe to assume that Luki is probably not a Nazi, even though some of the content she likes and reposts are edgy and just a little bit sus. Then finally, Luki attempts to respond to these xenophobic and transphobic allegations, which she doesn't do at all. Xenophobia. I don't understand why they call me xenophobe. I'm fine with everyone. Honestly, I haven't even seen any proof for that statement, so this is also disinformation. Fifth accuse. Transphobia. This is complete nonsense. I don't understand why people are slandering me. I am not transphobic. This is disinformation. To sum it up, I apologize once again for pronouncing the N-word. I'm not RST. I have no brothers. I'm not NZ. I'm not xenophobic. I'm not transphobic. By far the worst section of this video, Luki doesn't address the voice message where she speaks negatively about foreigners.
Блять, сколько же ёбаных аутистов, нахуй, в Murder Mystery 2, еще и англичане. Блять, да чтобы они все передохли, как мухи.
Either those voice recordings are incorrectly translated, or Luki doesn't know what racist and xenophobic means. Regardless, Luki finishes this painful statement with, "Thank you all for reading this to the end. I don't think anyone will forgive me after this, but I hope you at least understand the situation. I will not leave social media, and I will not stop filming. Don't waste your time on useless comments like leave and give up. Have a nice day, everyone." It's almost impressive how Luki tries to power through every controversy, and is always shocked by people calling her out for her behavior. A lesser-known scandal in the Luki lore was the fact that she also drew and sometimes animated NSFW art as a minor on Reddit, and when people found out about it in mid-2025, she responded by making a post saying, "Wow, people from TikTok found my Reddit and are hating on me for posting NSFW content here with a warning, without having an audience here? Holy crap, but why do people on TikTok care what I post on Reddit? My Reddit has nothing to do with TikTok. Why do you even care?" She is a teenager, and she'll grow to learn a lot of things. But once again, Luki is somehow mature enough to make and publish NSFW art, but somehow not mature enough to understand why it's a problem when she decides to do it publicly as a minor, with her official brand username attached to over 700,000 subscribers, most of whom are kids. When someone confronted her with this reality, Luki's response perfectly sums up who she is at the moment. I'll probably tell you a huge secret, but NSFW is published very often by 15, 16, and 17-year-olds and publicly. Plus I have a personal edit. I don't understand what the problem is. I don't give a It's not forbidden to publish, so why are you so bothered? If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's simple. Luki eventually took down all of her NSFW art from Reddit in what is now becoming a trend of caving under pressure without ever honestly apologizing for her mistakes. In all of this, regardless of how many times it's mentioned, it's always worth remembering that she is a 17-year-old girl with over 800,000 subscribers. Dealing with controversy can be extremely tricky for veteran creators, let alone a Russian teenager who doesn't even speak English. Luki probably isn't actually a racist, transphobic, xenophobic Nazi. The major difference between her and any old edgy teen is the fame she has. What's important at this point is her ability to learn from her mistakes and accept fair criticism, which up until this point has been a real struggle.